organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, change is on its way for incoming freshmen, and it has to do with the recent increase in reported sexual assaults. Details next.
And another campus protest. We'll take a look at what has students shouting this time.
And in sports, we sat down with the men's head gymnastics coach, J.D. Reeve.
We have it all at the top of the hour.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Sanchez.
And I'm Stefan Duran.
A ninth reported sexual assault at the University of Iowa Tuesday evening. The Department of Public Health issued another timely warning after receiving a report that a student was sexually assaulted in the morning hours of Sunday, March 2nd by an acquaintance. This comes in the midst of public scrutiny over the UI's handling of sexual assaults on campus. And there was something different, very different, about this timely warning compared to the previous 8 this year. It now includes a trigger warning at the top that warns readers the message contains a report of sexual misconduct. Ongoing developments will be in tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
And Megan, you mentioned the scrutiny the UI has received in the wake of these reports, and it's that scrutiny that has helped fuel other changes as well, including the sexual assault training incoming students receive. I went out today and took a look at what the university is doing to improve awareness. Sexual assaults on campus may not seem like a new issue, but for first-year students, the trend has come as an alarming surprise.
I don't know if this year is different than any other years right now, but it seems that there are a lot, and so I guess whatever they're doing right now is not working, so any changes will be necessary.
And change is coming. The educational program regarding sexual misconduct for incoming and first-year students is transitioning to the Every Choice program, which will highlight different forms of prevention.
More focused on bystander intervention as a skill-building tool for students to end or prevent sexual assault, dating violence, and stalking.
In years past, education on sexual harassment at Iowa was limited to first-year online courses, but officials are implementing new educational options for students as they progress.
If you think about it, a 4-year degree in those last 2 years, what kind of prevention messages are the students getting? We are trying to strengthen that from the perspective ensuring that it is in alignment and consistent with what students learned in that post-orientation online course.
And officials hope these new options will increase the amount of useful information already present to students on campus. And these changes have been in the planning stages since early 2013, but the recent attention on the issue has caused the UI to speed up the implementation.
A student protest interrupted the Iowa Board of Regents meeting at the UI today. Ian Murphy is a Metro reporter for the print edition of Daily Iowan, and he was one on the scene. We'll now turn it over to the DI newsroom to get an update. Ian?
Well, guys, the protesters stood up during the meeting and were upset about the upcoming efficiency study led by Deloitte Consulting. The efficiency study will look for inefficiencies within the university and how the universities can redirect those funds. The protesters felt that the decisions about public universities should be made in front of the public instead of at closed-door meetings. The 4 protesters chanted, "Ditch Deloitte, stop the audit," multiple times before being led up by university officials, and the meeting continued as normal after. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ian. Now you're looking at some iPhone footage that he took at the protest. Listen in. The board discussed many other issues, including residence hall rates, building projects, and campus crime statistics. Snow was expected this afternoon, but it looks like it skipped right over us. Are we finally done with this winter weather, or should we be expecting more in the future?
Let's toss it over to Maria Palladino with the latest in the weather. Maria?
Thanks, guys. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but this warm weather has made students all over campus actually excited to step outside and walk to class. well, students can keep looking forward to that extra bit of sunshine to brighten their day. Tomorrow morning, we are looking at a low temperature of 24 degrees, but temps will increase to 45 in the afternoon and 46 in the evening. Looking into the extended forecast, we can expect a high temps on Friday and Saturday around 50 degrees and low temps around 30 degrees. On Sunday, there's a 40% chance of snow with a high of 38 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Monday will bring a high of 40 degrees and a low of 29. By next week, the temps will finally be back up to a lovely 48 degrees, but Tuesday does bring a 40% chance of ice pellets. That's all I have for the weather in the studio tonight. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Megan and Stefan, back to you.
Thanks, Maria. It's time for this week's edition of Hawkeye Buzz. This week, we'll show you where you can get real Mexican food in Iowa City. Alyssa, what's buzzin'?
Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of Hawkeye Buzz. We all know that there's always going to be that friendly competition between which Mexican restaurant is the best in the area. Well, earlier today, I found the answer. From food truck to Fantastico, this Mexican restaurant has it all. Hola, I'm here at La Michoacana in Iowa City, and I'm going to find out how this restaurant was first started as a food truck. Vamos. It's known as the only Mexican half grocery store, half restaurant in the Iowa City area. La Michoacana got its start 2 years ago as a food truck and was the first and only taco truck in Iowa City.
A small storage space next to the taco truck, and we would sell tacos, burritos, and quesadillas only there, and tortas as well.
Despite their signature style of spices and famous grilled chicken tacos, the Iowa City area is booming with Mexican restaurants, so the competition is always close by.
Every person has their own flavors, so somebody could still even like their food better than ours, so I guess it depends. But no matter what, I think we have competition on the way.
So the question is, why are there so many Mexican restaurants in the Iowa City area?
I think, the American people, the white people is the most popular coming here. Maybe you can see the restaurant when it's full, and I think it's about 70% American people, white people, the 32 Hispanic people. It's too different.
Food truck, restaurant, or grocery store, it's no doubt that La Michoacana is the tastiest and most authentic Mexican hotspot in Iowa City. The family-owned restaurant and grocery store is located right off of Highway 1, so go check it out. Guys, that's all from me today. Back to you.
It's the middle of tax season, and as UI employees start looking for their W-2 forms, they can expect to see a change form from previous years. This year, the university amped up their security measures with the W-2 forms and now require employees to print the forms on university computers only. The W-2s could be printed anywhere previously, even though the UI hasn't had problems with the fraudulent access to W-2s before. By having employees print from university computers, they can track IP addresses more closely. UI Payroll Operations Director Daniel Schropp says the school has made the change as a proactive step to increase the security of employee information. For student workers and employees no longer living in Iowa City, this could pose as an inconvenience.
We've received a few more calls from staff that maybe we're at a tax preparer's office and we're looking to maybe access their W-2 there. Couldn't do that. But for the most part, it's been going pretty well.
Schropp said the university will continue on campus W-2 printing for the next year as well.
The Iowa House refused an attempt last night to debate a bill that would increase school funding by 6% starting in the 2015-2016 school year. Mason City Democrat Sharon Steckman tried to place the bill in the House debate calendar, but it failed to receive the required 51 votes. The Republican majority House doesn't want to consider this increase until next year, even though the law requires school funding to be set a year in advance.
Post-prison health insurance. This is becoming a reality in Iowa thanks to the Affordable Care Act. State officials announced today that they will be setting up a new process to get Iowa inmates enrolled in an insurance program upon their release from prison. The program is an effort to help newly released inmates get the services they need. Iowa releases nearly 4,000 prisoners each year.
And now let's take a look at what's happening beyond Iowa. A deadly explosion in New York today. The catastrophe rocked the city Tuesday morning, causing the collapse of 2 buildings and the death of 2 people. Another 12 people are missing and 20 more were injured. The cause is still unknown, but there are reports of a possible gas leak before the blast.
Drone down. The number of U.S. drone strikes in Pakistan fell sharply last year. The U.S. began limiting strikes in an attempt to save civilian life. No civilians were killed last year in Pakistan's federally administered tribal regions for the first time in 9 years. However, drone use is increasing in Afghanistan and Yemen.
The Iowa men's basketball team is heading to Indianapolis tomorrow to open play in the Big Ten tournament.
Let's toss it over to Jalen Socek, standing by in the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio with the latest news on men's hoops. Jalen?
Thanks, Stefan. I'm Jalen Socek here at the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. A lot to get to tonight with both baseball and men's gymnastics on the way. But first, we're talking a little Hawkeye basketball, who open their Big Ten tournament play tomorrow night. Iowa enters the tournament as the number 6 seed, where they will square off against number 11 seed Northwestern in a first-round matchup. The Hawkeyes swept their 2 regular season meetings, winning both contests by 26 points. But head coach Fran McCaffrey believes his team won't overlook the Wildcats, especially with their recent defensive struggles.
Let's start with the defense. Okay, it's transition, it's rebounding, it's on the ball, it's ball screen defense, it's help recovery, it's being in the gaps. I mean, all of those things. And we have drills, and whether it's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, and kind of like the beginning of practice.
And losing 5 of those by just 10 points or less, McCaffrey believes these past few practices helped them to adjust and prepare for the tournament.
I'm hopeful that, since Saturday, we've had a little more time. We had a lot of short preps, a lot of traveling. I don't think that's the only reason, but we were not, I think, as in sync as we were, and I'm hopeful that we've been able to go back to some of the basic things that we needed to fix.
While Iowa is preparing for the Northwestern Wildcats, the men's baseball team just finished their 3-game series with the Kansas State Wildcats. Although Kansas State took a sweep of the Hawkeyes last weekend, Iowa still tops the Big Ten standings. A new coaching staff has fans praising them for the team's vast improvement, but a fully recovered junior Jake Yoxinich is just another reason behind the team's recent success. The 2013 baseball season was one of disappointment. Iowa, a team packed full of potential, only went 10-14 in conference play while struggling with several injuries in the lineup. But a new season came, as did a new coaching staff, and suddenly a rejuvenation in the program. Head coach Rick Heller and squad are off to their best start in years, and it couldn't be possible without their shortstop and junior captain, Jake Yoxinich.
And I'm really pleased with how he's playing defense. He's been really consistent. He's one of our best hitters. He hits in the middle of the lineup. Good clutch hitter, can hit for average and for power, and he's also one of our fastest guys and one of our best base runners. And he's a really good player.
But his success wasn't without struggle. His sophomore campaign was largely spent battling a back injury.
He's been doing really well. He's been healed 100%. That's been helping us a lot, because last year he's been struggling. With the back, it was hard for him to bend over and field ground balls. Well, this year he's more smooth. He's swinging the bat really well right now, too, so that's huge.
His health being reaffirmed with his numbers. This season he's batting at a .417, the team's second highest average, leads in hits, runs, and stolen bases.
When he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the league.
A good rehab program and just a little bit of time was all Yoxinich needed.
Pretty much in the summer, I just had to take it easy and just let nature take its course.
Jalen Socek, Daily Iowan TV Sports. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for this evening, but before we head out, we have a special sneak peek from gymnastics beat reporter Jake Rossi's conversation with head coach J.D. Reeve. The following is just one part of a full series running on the state of men's gymnastics in the pages of the Daily Iowan after the programming break. Have a look.
How do you get an AD to be like, we want to add men's gymnastics? We don't need to provide scholarships. We just want Division I status. People will go. Having enough people doing this work, they will go. Yeah. They will fill a roster. No doubt.
And you get money from it too. People want to do gymnastics.
Yep.
It's there.
Yeah. I turn away at least 3 full rosters for kids every year.
More on Reeves' sit down once again coming up after the programming break. But for now, it's back to you at the desk.
Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get an inside look into Thursday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Sustainable communities, read about how the UI is reaching out to help the environment and local people.
And we'll have more on the Board of Regents meeting, including how the Museum of Art will be impacted.
Well, that's your most current edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.